What's up, guys? Welcome back. I am here at Little Manatee River State Park, just south of Ruskin, Florida, in Hillsborough County. We're going to give you kind of a video tour of the state park, what it has to offer. Then at the end of it, we're going to talk about some pros and some cons. Is this state park even worth visiting? So stick around, enjoy the video. Here we go. So the first place you want to go is this place right here. This is the visitor center as you enter the park. $5 gets you entrance for the day, just for your vehicle. It doesn't matter how many passengers are in your vehicle as far as I know. Right now, as I'm making this on June 25th, 2020, they're accepting just straight $5 bills. They are not allowed to give change right now because of the health stuff going on, but they will accept your credit card and they can process your credit card. So you want to pick up a map like this and work your way on inside the park. State park maps are notoriously confusing. It's hard to look at, first of all, because it's all black and white. What you do is you come in, and these are all equestrian trails that you can take using a horse. But this is the main drive that comes around here. And we came on around and we skipped that trailhead and we're instead right here. And there are some like playgrounds here, and we're gonna actually just do the Oxbow trail and go look at the river and then come back in. Then hopefully our next step is to go over to the campground and walk around and give you guys kind of a review of that and a snapshot of that. So it seems like there's gopher tortoises that live here and they burrow down in the ground. It's interesting. If only we had one to observe. Ooh. These things can live a really long time, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, where's he going? He's leaving. He's like, peace, y'all. This is us heading down a connector trail, I believe it is, towards what is called the Oxbow Trail. And the Oxbow Trail is about a mile long, it seemed. This is one of the shorter trails offered at this park. And the reason why we chose this trail is because we had some young kids with us and we didn't want to burn them out here. But there is a facility here with some restrooms in it right along the trail. And they're rather nice restrooms. They're very clean inside. And they have running water, flush toilets. But Little Manatee River State Park is a 2,433 acre park located 5 miles south of Sun City, Florida, off of US Highway 301 and Lightfoot Road. And it is along the Little Manatee River, which flows south and west and eventually flows into the Tampa Bay. This is a freshwater, tannic acid colored river, and that's why this river has kind of that dark, almost black color to it, very coffee looking colored water. This comes from tannic acid, which from what I understand is from the palmettos in this area that are leaching the tannic acid into the water as it rains and giving it that color. This is a very classic, a very iconic river water color for this area. And this is just a quick shot of what's called a four-toothed mason wasp, kind of common in this area. But activities at the state park include canoeing, fishing, horseback riding, which is not universal at all state parks in Florida. It includes camping, hiking. Among the wildlife of the park, you'll see things like Florida scrub jays, white-tailed deer, warblers, raccoons, 9-banded armadillos, bobcats, alligators, and even river otters. So the mosquitoes have found me, and fortunately, I brought some of this stuff with me. DEET. It works. But in the event that you're out here like this and you don't have something like this little plant right here is called American Beautyberry. And right now it doesn't have any berries on it, but this one has some young little berries. I'll show you. Right here. These are beautyberries. Now when these fully ripen, they're going to be like kind of a fuchsia, like purple, really pretty, purpley pink. But these leaves you can take and you can pick a few of them and you crumble them up in your hand like this and you can rub them all over your skin and it actually acts as a mosquito repellent. Now it's not as effective as like DEET, but if you're in a pinch and you got to use it, you can. In addition to this Oxbow trail that we're on that is around a mile long, there's a few other trails, like a 6.5 mile trail, but all total there's about 12 miles of hiking and lots of equestrian trails and 4 equestrian campsites at this state park. There's also full facility campgrounds, primitive campsites along the trail, and a youth or youth group campground. So they have things, amenities for all people, all kinds of different activities, and the park is typically open from about 8 a.m. till sundown year-round. However, at the time of filming this, at the time of our visit, because of some of the health things that are going on in our country right now, all of the camping was closed and the park was only open to day visitors only. But it's beautiful in its own right. I grew up with this kind of terrain in, this kind of swampy Florida scrub sort of terrain. So it's not very appealing to me. It's very common to me. But for someone coming from up north, this may be very beautiful. This may be very different and unique. And you may like visiting this park and find it very interesting. So I hope you do. This is a little cesspool area here, kind of a backwater area. When the river floods, it floods in that area. And there's a lot of duckweed. It's a great alligator habitat. We didn't see any alligators on this visit, but there's no doubt alligators in this river. Anytime you have a body of water, there's a chance of there being an alligator in Florida. So we're walking across the bridge here that was built, I believe, by some Boy Scouts, and just closing up the circle here, the Oxbow Trail. And of course, a hot summer day would not be complete without some dates, fresh blueberries, bananas, and blackberries. And here's just a quick shot of the campground being closed and roped off at this time. This, again, was recorded in late June of 2020, so by the time you're watching this, it may be open. Florida, because of its growing seasons and climate, is open to all kinds of different plants, and some of them invasive and some of them native, and that chart just kind of gave us a snapshot of those different plants and whether or not they're native and whether or not they're invasive. So what we did is, if you leave the main entrance of the state park and you come out to Highway 301 and you turn left onto Highway 301 and go north about 2 miles or 3 miles, you'll come to a different entrance of the state park. You park your car and you can hike in. They say on their map it's 1 mile to this little Cypress Creek, but it felt a little bit more like 1.5 miles to 2 miles one way to get to this little Cypress Creek. But I remember coming here years ago and seeing this little Cypress Creek and how beautiful it was, and just kind of a sandy, shallow, clear creek that had real cool water in it. And I really wanted to take the family there and get them to kind of just relax and play in the creek for a little bit and make it worth our while. Because like I said, it was really hot this day. It was very muggy and it's 102 degrees with a heat index. So we're hiking through this steamy jungle-like terrain here. But this is, in my opinion, one of the prettier parts of the park. And if you're coming to this park, I highly recommend you take this hike through these ferns, through these palm trees, and this good Florida scrub. This is what old Florida looks like. All these vines and pine trees and live oaks and Spanish moss. So this is, home to me. This is, the terrain that I grew up in and was raised in. So it's very, like I said, it's very common to me, very familiar to me, but it might not be for you. And that's kind of why I wanted to give you this snapshot. You just saw that FT sign as we passed. That's part of the Florida Trail. And the Florida Trail is similar. It's Florida's version of the Appalachian Trail. It's a trail that runs all through the length of Florida, from down to the southernmost tip of Florida all the way up to the Florida Panhandle. And many people will hike that as through hikers, but it's not as backwoods. It's not as rough terrain, obviously, as the Appalachian Trail. But I just love these ferns here on either side of the trail. It's beautiful scenery as we work our way through. And the kids are having a great time, obviously. Many of them barefoot for some reason. come for a ride.
Yeah, I know. There's my spot. It's been way more than an hour. No, it's been way more than a mile.
Felt like it, didn't it? On my head are there? Hot coffee. So good. Oh, you found golf ball.
I'm here June 25th, 2020, and it is hot. I think Florida is kind of experiencing a heat wave right now. I think it's somewhere about 97 degrees with a heat index of about 102. So it is hot this time of year at the state park. Fortunately, we found this little stream here and the kids are playing and cooling off. Otherwise, I would have some serious morale issues. Another con, mosquitoes. I'm getting torn up by mosquitoes even as I'm talking to you right now, even after I've put mosquito spray on. So I don't know if this is a year-round thing or not, but be prepared for some mosquitoes in your tent. Have some bug repellent if you're gonna camp here. If you're just hiking for the day, definitely bring some bug repellent. Another con, it's just kind of boring. So if you're used to the topography and the landscape of Montana or Idaho or Colorado or any of these places, or the Appalachians like I particularly enjoy, this might seem a little bit boring for you. It's flat, it's sandy, and there's not a whole lot of landscape or terrain changes. However, you might enjoy some of the more tropical environments, some of the, you know, the different wildlife, like gopher tortoise. You might enjoy some of the things that Florida wildlife, Florida scrub has to offer. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but we're here in this area and I figured I'd visit and give you guys kind of a snapshot of it. Another pro, you're really close to the beach. You're maybe about an hour to an hour and a half away from the coast, depending on what beach you want to go to. So a really short drive will get you over to the beach. Some beautiful beaches like Anna Maria Island, Siesta Key, Fort DeSoto State Park. So that's definitely another pro. A third pro and a final one is the weather here is going to be beautiful most of the year. So if you come here in January, you're gonna be in the 60s, maybe even 70s in January. The weather here is gonna be wonderful in the winter time. In the summer, not so much, but maybe 8 to maybe 9 months out of the year, the weather here is gonna be nice and tolerable, and primitive camping, just in a tent, you might feel comfortable at night. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and do me a favor, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more videos like this. We'll keep it real. We'll see you in the next one.
You can spot me from a mile away because of this.